That said, I'd like to welcome each one of you. Oh, wow. The recruitment process started some time back. I think it was late December. And I just want to thank members for responding because now we are here. Yeah, onboarding is a process. We are supposed to be 100 plus, but we are also aware that some of our colleagues are still in the villages and are promising to travel back probably this weekend, and others will join us next week. But we also have a team of people who are undergoing, some of the student leaders right now are undergoing a patriotism training that is residential in Nkumba University. And so some of the concerns I got was that some of them won't be able to make it because at this time they are outside doing some drills, physical drills, but the training stops on the 17th, and after that they'll soon join us. A recording will be made available for them so that they catch up with us. Otherwise, we should be quite more than this. Yes, if you are here, that means you applied for the program and you have registered. Now, registration means that you have a registration number. Usually when I'm addressing issues on bank, I usually first go directly to the administrative issues to make sure that we have the right people on this platform. Yes, the invitation is made to many. We had over 300 applications, but of course, not all of them were, accepted. And so for those of us that have been accepted, it's either because you took initiative to sign up for the program and follow through with all the procedures that you were given, or if you're here, then you are a bank student leader in your university and you have been onboarded by by the president of the institution. But even then, even if you've been onboarded, you have the responsibility to ensure that you show up for the classes and to ensure that you make it to the end of the 6 weeks. And so I would like to encourage you, yeah, applying and being registered and getting a registration number is one thing. And also finishing the course is another. We actually do take attendance and we follow up on your attendance. We also do follow up on your participation in activities. We want to see how are you participating. For example, small things like, please go to the chat and type what bank is in full. We monitor, have you responded or did you choose to ignore the instruction? So we are calling upon you to be proactive, to be active, not passive, where you log in and get back into bed and just wait for the session to end. That is not what Bang is about. And as you go through the program, you will realize that this program is about you and you're fully responsible for what happens to you in this program because you will make the decision to wake up. Nobody is going to wake you up. Nobody is going to give you a phone call. And so we expect you that you'll be proactive and set your alarm so that you show up. We can onboard 55 or 100, but we don't mind graduating 2 people who have successfully gone through the program. And so we want to encourage you. Nobody's going to push you, but we believe that you're going to push yourself because one of the things that bank tries to do over and above values, morals, and characters, and by the way, those are attributes of leaders. And so whether you hold any leadership position or not, we believe that we are born leaders and you have the responsibility to take care of your life and to, make the decisions in your life. And so when you're given assignments, do them, just prioritize them and do them. Because if you don't, then you'll miss out on the benefits of the program. If there is a project to execute, which you will have to execute, please do execute the program, whether it makes sense or it doesn't. One of the things young people like doing is to question things. Why am I doing this? What is this going to benefit me at the end? And we are telling you that you're in good hands. When you enter a taxi, you're not sure whether you reach your destination, isn't it? But you have faith that you will reach. Why? Because the driver knows where you are going. And so would like you to have a little bit of faith in the drivers of this program. Our beautiful facilitators are on call, and soon you'll be hearing from quite many of them. And so just want to trust you to trust them to take you through the program. You will reach, you will arrive safely. Yeah, that's the assurance I can give you. But for you to arrive, you must you must make that decision that you also want to arrive. And so once again, welcome. Make sure you have a registration number. Yes, make sure you have a registration number. That is when you have a registration number, then you're fully recruited into the program. If you don't have a registration number, it simply means you will not get a certificate at the end of the day, because then you're not on the list of Bank January 2025. Yes, and so please ensure you have a registration number. There's a registration link that will be shared to some of us who don't have registration numbers, so that you appear on that list of participants. Yes. Okay. Again, I mentioned earlier that this program is a life transforming program. It will transform your mind, it will transform your body, and it will transform your spirit man. It is a 360 kind of transformation. When you go to the doctor, they'll kind of mind your body. When you go to the university, they will mind your mind, give you knowledge. When you go to church, or the mosque, they'll speak to your spirit. But we're saying here that we want to do a 360. And so who is responsible? You. Nobody is going to tell you to do exercises, but we believe that for you to be a person of VMC, you will make time to eat well, to do exercises and things like that. Yeah, and also go to church if you're a Christian, and if you're a Muslim, go to the mosque or whatever religion you belong to, develop your spirit man. Again, it's one way of exhibiting your values, morals, and character. Who is responsible? You are responsible. And so we expect you to make those decisions. Our vision, as we shall see, is to build a new generation of youth who have the right values, who have the right morals, and who have the right character. Why? Because you're the ones who are going to transform this nation. We are imparting this in you so that you can make Uganda a great nation. Okay, we don't expect you, all of you, to become the presidents of Uganda. When we say we want you to make Uganda a great nation, but we are saying that wherever you are in your community, you will do something about a situation in your community. It may be your school, it may be your former primary school, it may be where you come from at home. What are you going to do about it? Is there any situation that annoys you so much that you keep complaining that why isn't the government doing something about it? Now, that situation you're not happy about is the one that we want you to say, instead of being annoyed, let me go and do something about it so that I can also contribute to the building of my nation, Uganda. And so we'll take you through that. And so with that said, I'd like you to start thinking of your projects, your individual projects. Say, this is what I want to do. And so we'll expect you that before you complete this program, there is something you must do to change the status quo of your community at an individual level, but we shall also expect you to be part of a group. And as a group, you will also execute a project so that it kind of impacts the community where you are. Our classes will be for 6 weeks. Please prepare mentally, okay? When you tell your mind, I'm going to be in this program for 6 weeks, your body will respond to what your mind tells it. And so if you just prepare the mind, or you just prepare your body for showing up, you must make the decision so that your spirit, body, and mind can agree and help you to show up and help you to set your alarm. And these 6 weeks, we are not going to be studying every day. No, we're going to be studying on Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. And so if you're here this morning, this is what will be happening every Tuesday and Wednesday. And on the and at the end of February, we shall be closing up this program. Usually when we finish, we celebrate in a graduation ceremony where we go and thank God, where we go and celebrate each other, but also meet each other in person. And so I would like to encourage you to look forward with expectation, and so that you start showing up. Now, the graduation date will be communicated. We'll have 2 intakes this year, and so we believe that the graduation will probably come in so that we all graduate at once, but we'll communicate. Now, for you to graduate, you must have attended 80% of the classes. And so if you multiply these at 12, almost 12 classes in total, and any other class that may be added, just in case the facilitators feel there is need of an extra class or 2. And so since attendance is being monitored, we shall see who are those that have been consistently attending classes. And when you show up like this, we expect you to log in with your name and your registration number. And so as you do that, as the sessions are ongoing, we'll have someone recording your attendance. And not attending just for 1 minute and then, or 10 minutes, then you log off and say, Caster, I've showed up, but they have seen me or but they have not seen me. We shall monitor your attendance from when you join up to when you leave. Now, issues of network should not be an issue. Please solve your network issues earlier, because we usually have hear stories of, you see, I couldn't log in because of network and things like that. And I'm here to tell you that if you're in a place in Uganda that doesn't have network, I don't know, but you might have to shift, okay? Because we can't keep sharing recordings all the time. We can't monitor your attendance of recordings. So we will share the recordings, but we won't be sure whether you've attended them. And so if your name doesn't appear on the graduation list, we'll advise you to join the next intake. Yes. So please, please, please buy a separate book for the bank mentorship program. Don't put it in a paper you've picked under your bed. Don't write whatever you're going to hear on some notebook that has biology, chemistry, and whatever course unit you've done at the university, and you've put bank in the middle or at the back. Please go and buy a separate notebook for the bank mentorship program, so that every time you come to class, you come ready with your notebook and your pen, because the things you're going to write there are things that are very personal. If you start moving around with your bank notebook everywhere, and then you've written things in your bank notebook, and someone asks you for your book for business administration, finance, and then you've put bank in the middle, they'll end up seeing your bank notes, and they will wonder, what is this? Please buy a separate notebook and show up. We'll give guidance. We'll be giving guidance all through. Feel free to come to our inboxes, and I'll be showing up most of the time just to give you guidance that this week, this is what we are doing. Next week, this is what we are doing. This week, please create this, do this, and things like that. And so we are not stopping here in orientation. The guidance will keep coming. And for the questions, please keep bringing in the questions. Don't fear. Just inbox us the questions so that you get whatever guidance you need at whatever level. We are here. We are ready to walk the journey with you. But again, you also must be willing to walk the journey with us. With that said, I'd like to hand it back to Brian. But welcome. And we're very excited to have you here. God bless you. You be expectant, and yes, let's do this. It will be a worthwhile journey. God bless you. Bye.
Wow, wow. Friends, let's give some cheers for those wonderful words of wisdom. Yeah, a word to a wise is enough. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Madam Anita, for the wonderful words of wisdom that we have received. And for sure, friends, you must be right now very set to board on a plane to our destinations. Yeah. Thank you so much for the heads up. And I'm sure even those that just joined in without purpose and you just didn't know, hey, the reason as to why you are here, yes, at least now you have a very big hint, a very big hint uh, as to why you are on the call. Thank you so much, Madam Anita. And so, even right now, we are proceeding with our call. And Evangeline over there, do we still have people on the call? Evangeline, are people active or they have dozed off?
I think Evangeline has the network has pushed her out. Huh?
Out. Ah, well, okay. Well, I see very good reactions right here in the chat box. Thank you so much, friends. Keep reacting to these things like Madam Anita has said. Your participation is monitored. Thank you so much. And so, friends, even right about now, we're continuing with our program. And on the program right about now, we are going to have presentation from none other than our very own uh, Elder Stephen Langa. Elder Stephen Langa is the Executive Director of Family Life Network. And Family Life Network is the big mother of Bang. Bang is the baby and the Family Life Network. And so we're going to have a word from Elder Stephen Langa, the Executive Director of Family Life Network. And so, friends, right about now, let's put our hands together through those emojis, flowers, cheers, and let's welcome Elder Stephen Langa to speak to us. You are most welcome, Papa. Come on, friends, let's welcome him. Yes. Welcome. Oh,
Yes, actually, the network had pushed Elder Langa out. And so, Elder Langa, this is your time to share. And so, you're being invited to make your presentation.
Please just give me a minute. As I sort out my technology here. Just a minute.
okay, even so, as Papa prepares, here in the chat box, I see someone asked a question. Uh, where do we register from? And so just in case you're not part of the official group for Bang, some links will be shared close to the end of this workshop, the first orientation. Some links will be shared and you make sure you join in the link. And then number two, there was a registration link that was going on. Just in case you did not register, I don't think you still have a chance, but you may have a chance because you've been open to clarity. So you hit Madam Anita's inbox, and then right there, she'll support you in registering and being enrolled. So be ready also to receive the link. Yes, a link that is going to be provided. And then there you'll be able to register. Over to you, Papa, right now.
Thank you very, very much, Brian, and thank you very much, Anita, for bringing us this far in the orientation. 1,000, or is it really a million apologies? I have been failed by technology. I'm out of town. I'm in a remote place, and the technology really did me bad. but thank God that finally it has materialized, and here we are ready for this orientation. Let me just put up my presentation if I can. Yes. I hope that, yes, you can now see. My name is Stephen Langa, and I'm going to take you through the orientation to the bank online mentorship program. Now, this is a program that has a vision and has a mission, and I'll be sharing that in a moment. But just a little bit of a picture, my wife and I. That picture is very, very famous because I gave my wife that flower on our wedding anniversary when I was addressing university students at Makerere, and it really has a lot of memories for us. Otherwise, my name is Stephen Langa. My wife's name is Beatrice, and I'm glad to report to you that last year in August, Beatrice and I clocked 40 years in marriage. We have 2 adult children, and we are the grandparents of 3 grandchildren. And I must say that we really, really thank God for family. During Christmas time, we spent our family time together, and it's just wonderful, really being a family. And my hope and prayer is that all of you will be in a position to really enjoy good and wonderful family life. Because when a family life runs the way it's supposed to run, it's like a heaven on earth. And that is a recent one. Sorry about the focus, but that is doing this just before Christmas. We took that picture. No, after Christmas, actually. Yeah, after Christmas, we took that picture. So that's who we are. My background is I trained as an electrical engineer from Nairobi University. And by the time I was 30 years old, I was the first Black chief engineer in an international corporation that had branches around the world. I saw success in the corporate world, and I was supervising people who are my father's age. And part of the reason why we do this program is because we've been where you are as university students. We've been there, and by God's grace, we know how to come from there to where you could be, in society as a successful man, a successful woman, accomplishing your assignment and your destiny in this world. And so this program here, this mentorship program, has a little bit of history. The way this program came to university is I was invited one time to give a talk at the Sheraton Hotel on gender-based violence. So actually, I wasn't supposed to be the speaker, but it was supposed to be somebody else. But now he had gone to the US, so he asked me to step on his shoes. And so I went and stepped on his shoes and spoke about gender-based violence. And then at the end, I mentioned to them that actually, for us, we are handling this gender-based violence based on dealing with the root cause And I told them that we have a program called BANG, and it's addressing this matter as well as many other matters that youth face and that society faces. We do that. Then I was, so I did that. Then we have what we call the bank declaration, and you're going to know about it. And so, because to declare the whole thing takes about 3 minutes. So I knew my last 3 minutes, I used it. I told them, okay, now let's pretend we've come to your school and your schoolboys and schoolgirls, and we are going to do the bank declaration. And so I asked them to stand up and we recited. I put it on the screen and we recited. After I finished, a university lecturer came to me from Makerere. Said, where have you been? We need this in Makerere. And so within about 2-3 weeks, she organized a live lecture time and gave me 2 hours with about 150 students. So I went there, and I think we were with Madam Anita, no, not Anita, and Madam Sarah Vyamukama. I don't know that she's on call because I haven't checked yet. So we shared with those young people, and the impact was incredible. When we did the evaluation, students will say, we need this in all universities need this. Can this be made into a course unit? Youth are failing because of lack of information given. Nobody has ever talked to us like this. So one thing led to another. A report was made. It went to the principal. Eventually reached the vice chancellor's office, and that's how we signed a memorandum of understanding, an MOU, with Makerere University to start this back program in Makerere. So that is how this thing started in universities. Now, the mother organization, who are we? Mother organization is Family Life Network, which is a Ugandan-based non-profit organization since 2002. And the vision for Family Life Network is really simple. We are working to bring restoration to family I'm sorry about my connectivity. As I said, I'm in a remote place. Yeah. Okay, is my screen there? Maybe let me start it. Okay. Let me go back. Let me put it up again. Really sorry about that, my dear young men and women. But let's just make the best of the situation.
Yes.
All right. Good. Yeah. So the vision is right there. Building a new generation of youth with values, morals, and character who will make Uganda a great nation. All right. So there we are. We, we are not just talking of values, morals, character, just for the sake of it, but we are doing it so that we can actually make Uganda a great nation. And we have a mission as well. I'm going to ask Anita to read for us the mission. Yes, Anita, kindly read for us that mission.
Yes, so the mission of Bang is equipping, empowering, and mentoring youth with principles based on truth and challenging them to develop values, morals, character, and positive mindset that will enable them prepare for and build strong and happy families, become autonomous, innovative, productive, responsible, economically stable, and transformational leaders who will make Uganda a better place to live in and a great nation, regardless of sex, race, ethnic, political inclination, social, or religious background.
Excellent. Thank you. So that's what we are really trying to do. Okay? Empowering people with the principles based on truth. Why are principles based on truth important? 3 reasons. One, they work. Okay? They work. And that's why what we teach, if somebody follows them, they work. And they're going to be sharing some of the testimonies. They work. Secondly, they are universal. They can be applied anywhere, in any tribe, in any situation, in any part of the world. And then they are timeless, meaning that they worked a million years ago, they work a million years to come. You know, they are always relevant because they're based on truth, because truth doesn't change. So that's the beauty about this program. And that's the beauty about building one's career and life on those principles. And then you can see that we are trying to help you, precious young men and women, to prepare for and become and have happy families, stable marriages. You know, not this thing of divorce all the time. And I'm going to talk a little more about that, subsequently. So we want you to really be, that. Then look at economically stable, innovative, and transformational leaders. I mean, the list goes on and on. That's what we are trying to do, and that's what we're trying to achieve. Yeah. Then we have objectives, and the first one is there. Anita, help us to read that.
Our first objective is to provide effective follow-up programs for youth who have decided to become a new generation with values, morals, and character, whereby they can receive encouragement, support, peer accountability, mentoring, and positive peer pressure from like-minded fellow youth.
Thank you very much. So you see, that's something that we really want. We want you to, to have a follow-up mechanism. Yes. Then let's go to the second one. Yes, Anita, please take us through it again.
To provide a platform where youth will be sensitized, equipped, and empowered to develop character, positive attitudes, and transformational leadership by building their lives on sound values and proven principles such as moral purity, hard work, integrity, proactivity, patriotism, honesty, self-control, and self-government, which are based on truth, so that they become autonomous, innovative, productive, responsible, economically stable, candidates for future happy and stable marriages and families who will have what it takes to make Uganda a better place to live in and a great nation.
That's where we are taking you, young people. We're not just taking you to something, just there to entertain you, and then after that, you don't know where to go. But this is something that is solid, something that has proven values, as you can see there. You can see that those are things that are needed to really make our nation a great nation. Continue, please.
Our third objective is to provide a mechanism for reaching out to other youths who have not had the bank program or have not made the commitment to become a new generation of youth with values, morals, and character in universities, schools, or institutions, and in the community. Yes.
Yes, so you can see we're helping to make you change agents, so that you don't just keep this good thing to yourself, but you also can give it to others. Yes, continue, please.
The fourth objective is to encourage members to become positive change agents by engaging in advocacy, social action, and social responsibility in the schools or university, at home, in the community, and beyond, as and when the need arises.
Exactly. So we don't want just youth who are there, just vagabonds, just waiting to be fed, waiting to be whatever, but the youth who can get up and say, look, we can do something for our nation. We can do something for our community. And finally, continue.
To sustain the bank program or the bank club message, core values and activities in universities, schools, institutions, and in the community.
Yes, so those are the objectives of Family Life Network. So now, I just want to share briefly some of the activities, especially beginning with Makere, but a few others are there. So what things we do is we do orientation when the university is just beginning. We get a slot in different colleges, different departments, different schools, and we take the newcomers into uh, that orientation of what bank is all about. Okay. Sometimes when we get an opportunity, we can go to a specific class and share the same principles. Then this is a bank meeting in Makerere. This was actually on one of the Valentine days, and they were entertaining themselves. Some of that lady in the front there, she has already graduated. She's now a teacher. I don't know that she's on the call because she's one of the people who are training to be facilitators as well. But that's one of the activities. Then we have bank gatherings, gatherings that excuse me, that take place on a weekly basis, where young people come together, share challenges, share information, learn together, support one another, and so on. So that's something that is there in the bank program, the different universities. That was the different leaders in the different colleges. And then here, as you can see, one young person there had an accident, a border accident, and the fellow bank members went to just stand with him, support him. You can see those ladies slightly on the right are carrying some kavera. They took some small eats, some juice or something like that. And that's what being a bank member is all about. You have family, because some people are on campus and they're just on their own, and you don't know where to go. You don't know which group to belong to. But here there is family, people who want to do life together and want people of the same values and so on, because none of us can stand alone. None of us can stand alone. We all need each other. So this bank provides that. Then this was a seminar. From time to time, we do seminars on topical issues. Whatever is current, we do a thing on it. For example, we've done things like on relationships. This particular one was on relationships. How do you conduct a relationship? We did that. Mental health, we did that. Issues of drug abuse and addictions, We did that because people are struggling with that. So we do whatever is people are struggling with on campus. This one was lecturers, COBAMs, a number of years ago, and that was me there with the principal of COBAMs at that time. So though those are lecturers, we had taken them through one day of training of the bank program. These are leaders of COBAMs, yes, leaders of COBAMs. We also trained them specifically, and most of those actually have already graduated, and some are doing very well in the real world. Yes, these are leaders, guild leaders of prospecting leaders. Some are already leaders, some are prospecting leaders on campus. And the way this started actually was interesting. We did a training, a 5-day training, and after that, 6 members of bank decided they want to stand for guild leadership. So what we did was we decided to just give them some orientation on leadership. And so we gathered them and we took them through it. It was a Wednesday. And they said, we have friends who are also wanted to be leaders. They will benefit from this. So the following Saturday, Wednesday rather, we brought, they brought their friends and we trained them on leadership. Then those ones also said, we also have more friends. They would really benefit from this. So the third Wednesday, we did it. So when those ones came, we also. So actually, from that time now, we started having meetings with the leaders. Either you're already a leader or you're a prospecting leader. And it was only interfered with by COVID. But these are leaders and prospective leaders. Then here, this was a planning meeting of the bank team in Makerere, and that was a planning day. Yes, as leaders, we encourage young people to be physically active, okay, physically active. And because we tell that you are leaders, and as leaders, you are going to work under stress, under a lot of pressure and all that. Now, in order to do that or to handle, to manage that stressful situation, stressful life, you need exercise, bodily exercise. And so at that time, we started doing jogging around campus every Saturday morning, very, very early. Yeah, I think 6 or 6:30 a.m. So as it was safe for the ladies to come, would come, gather at the Constitutional, for the Freedom Square, and then we went around the campus. So this was one such a situation. I think this needs to be revived, and also this needs to go to other campuses, because physical exercise is very, very important. You imagine, I'm now 70 years. All right, I'm 70 years. Imagine yesterday I went for, 4 or 5 kilometer walk. Okay, 4 or 5 kilometers. I'm still doing it. And for me, I started as a youth up to now. Okay, that's why I can handle stressful situations. What now? Now we're waking up at 5 a.m. I can do it. My body can do it. So you as a leader, you need it. Otherwise, if as a leader you're working under all that pressure and so on, your body will give up. Your body will give up. So we encourage as young people who are going to go far, who are going to change the world, you need that. Then we have trainings. This one I would, okay, we are going to rename this like boot camp, but this was like boot camp, several days of training, and yeah. Then during COVID, we also did a lot of work. These are international students, and we took them through a number of things to help them because they were beginning to have mental health issues as the extension kept on extending. They, all these international students, and they really benefited from the bank program and kept them stable during that very uncertain situation. Then we also have a bank alumni. When you have finished university, we don't stop there. We continue with you in the bank alumni program. All right. So we have right now a good alumni program that is taking young people, that is continuing to be in touch with young people who have graduated, so that we continue encouraging one another to do the right thing or to maintain our values, morals, and character. Several of these people there are very, very far. Some of them are overseas, some have gone and come back, and so on. But really, out of what they learned in Bang. During COVID, we did something for children of lecturers. And so there we are with the children of lecturers. And these are our volunteers. We train from time to time, we train more volunteers because all our work, virtually, most of our work, we do through volunteers. And, people we have trained, then train others. This was a special thing we did during COVID. As you know, people are at home, people are bored, they didn't know what to do. So somehow, a group of actually Lumboks, yeah, Lumumba and is it Africa Hall? Anyway, they organized, and every Thursday we would have a 2-hour meeting on. We used WhatsApp, 2-hour meeting on WhatsApp, talk about relationships. And we did that for quite a good number of time, several months. We did this. And I was told afterwards, 4 marriages, which one came out of that. And now you can see in the front there, that lady on the left, that lady on the left, at that time was a student. Now she's an engineer, she's an electrical engineer, and she's overseas, but she already has got someone, and my wife and I are going to have the privilege of mentoring them and preparing them for marriage. But all these are things that started during this relationship meetup. So this was when we actually met physically, when the lockdown had been reduced. We also did some research in Makerere with the Department of Gender and Women's Studies about the moral values in Makerere, and came up with very, very interesting results. And this was one of the days when we were disseminating the information. Yeah, then Bang members have been involved in a number of programs. This was something in Ginger, where we're starting a program for families in the Busoga region. And you can see the bank members there shining with their bank t-shirts there in a very, very significant way. The lady in the middle there was a guest of honor, that was the KCCA executive director, outgoing, and the gentleman on her right is the permanent secretary, Ministry of Gender. So bank has been involved in a number of issues there. Now, this was a very special meeting for class representatives. Okay. We had a 3-day training for class representatives for Makerere. We had about 180 young people for 3 days, residential. We were with them Friday, on Saturday, and Sunday. And the impact of this meeting actually had a significant change in Makerere. If you look at what has happened in Makerere now, you will realize that it is long since you have had, those very, very violent demonstrations and riots where things are burnt and what have you, and very, very few. Those things changed from this meeting here, because these class coordinators are the ones who actually control the student body, because they're in touch with everyone. Because every class coordinator, as you know, is the one who has the contact of all the students, is the one who sends the notices from lecturers and so on. So it was really, really significant that they caught the vision, they caught the message, and went back and started doing things very, very differently from the way they were doing before. And I'll never forget, at the end, I asked just generally, can anybody tell us what has the last 3 days meant to you? And the first one was a female student. She jumped on the stage and said, I'm glad to report that we've been here for 3 days, and I'm glad to report that no female student was raped. Now, to me, and I didn't really think about that at that time, but later reflect on it, which means that in meetings like these, yes, female students can be raped and life continues. I mean, that is very sad. That is very sad. But she said that, but anyway, it came. So that just showed you a change of heart and a change of something foundation and fundamental in the lives of these young people. And they took it back with them on campus. And I'm glad to report that at least, things have changed. Of course, not perfect. A lot still needs to be done, but at least something happened. Yeah, then here we had the joint orientation of Makerere University Bank Guild, as well as KIU. Now, from Makerere, other universities started to demand for the program. And I want to thank Madam Anita that she was the first person to take bank out of Makerere to first of all KIU. And now we have several universities that are actually enjoying the benefits of the bank program. So this was a joint one. It was residential. And this was 2023 and 24. All right, then there is Kabale, KIU Kabale, the inauguration. We're launching the bank program in Kabale University. And these are the leaders of bank in Kabale. I don't know whether Akshas is on the call, but he's one of our great leaders there, and we are so grateful for that. Then bank goes to schools. So there is a bank member who in Makerere at that time, she was married now, in a school speaking to young people. Okay, this is something that we keep doing. We go to several schools, and bank is very, very, very active there. You can see bank there. This was a Mango SS, and bank really did a wonderful job there. And you can see a good number of the bank members there are from KIU. Yes, that lady is from Makerere, but the one on the right. But I think the rest, oh yes, that second gentleman. So, but most of the people there are from KIU with those students. Yes, that was a KIU team, very, very strong leaders. And I want you to mark the gentleman on the left is Stephen Tracy. There he was a student at KIU, and they were in a school situation, them going and sharing with the younger people. And you know, when somebody comes from campus and goes to a to a school, the school really respects, you know, the students. You see, for some of us who are a bit older, they think, but you know, those are your days, but our days are different. But when they hear the same message from a university student, then they really take it very seriously. And so that's one of the things that bank does. This was a meeting of the bank online leaders. So you people here are going to be the second cohort of the bank online. You're the second cohort. And so your leadership is also going to come. But up to now, the first cohort of leaders are the ones who are present. And I think, yes, so that is them. We had a one-day training for the leaders. Okay, we came physically, we said, let's come physically from wherever they are. People came from Kabale, people came from Busitema in Tororo and all that. So people came from Luwero for that one-day meeting. It was really, really wonderful to catch up. And those are the leaders. Been introduced to you probably. Those are the current leaders. Alan is there, and her assistant, Tracy. Yes, and then during this training, we are going to encourage you to do a community program, a community project. And so these are the first cohort of last year doing a community project. Because as transformational leaders, we want you to be used to engaging with the community, with the, you know, serving the community, because you can't transform anything when you don't engage with it. You have to engage with it. So those are students in the online program engaging in the community. And you can see here they are with the leader. Okay, this is a community leader, because we train them that if you want to transform you have to engage with the community leaders, because to engage with the community means you have to engage with the community leaders, so you cannot ignore them. Okay, you are taking their positive change, and that's why it is important for you to know that. So here are some of the things. These ones went to a school. You can see they took their small cavera. And they did all that on their own. And so this is something that you're going to be part of. Then finally, there was a graduation. And I tell you, it was powerful, because graduation is actually real graduation, where you put on gowns. You see, they're there with the gowns, they're there with their certificate. And I like what our mentor Anita said during that graduation when she gave her speech. She said that all your academic qualifications will only give you 15% of your success, or will contribute 15% of your success. 85% will come from your values, morals, and character. And so she said, therefore, this graduation is actually the graduation that contributes 85% of your success. Can you imagine? The things you're learning in class and so on, we're not neglecting them, but they will only contribute 15%. But the thing that's really going to take you to the height is what you're learning, what you're going to learn in this online mentorship program. All right. Anita, read for us this testimony as I begin to wind up. This testimony from a student.
Okay, thank you so much, Elder Langa, for this fire you've brought us. This testimony goes like this. My name is Bernadette Bainom Gisha, and I am a 20-year-old second-year student of social work and social administration at Makerere University. My first encounter with BANG, or Family Life Network, was last year in December, when by God's grace, I was able to attend a 5-day BANG training that completely changed my life. Family Life Network, through BANG, started a new generation within me, and not just for me, but for my family, friends, and future generations. I rose from having no clear path to living intentionally with values, standards, and principles. When I
Continue.
first met Family Life Network, I was struggling in areas of relationships, finances, and character. The training impacted me so much that it changed my life completely. First, I seriously committed to a life of sexual purity and also got a mentor to hold me accountable. The training taught me that change starts from me. Therefore, I made the uncomfortable decision of starting to pay my OTT service tax. This is because I learned that integrity as well as compromise starts from the small things. Therefore, if I actually needed to do away with compromise and become a lady of integrity, I had to start from the roots.
Continue.
In addition, I decided to seriously start saving because the training and the bank declaration taught me that saving and investment is the right way of making wealth. Currently, I've begun saving, and I also recently started investing, and I sell African crafted jewelry to fellow students. I also joined an investment club at the start of the semester where I'm currently serving as a project coordinator.
Continue.
Though I am not yet perfect, I am certain I desire to live a life of a difference, a life of virtue, morals, and character. Unlike in the past, Bernadette now has standards, principles, and values. The woman of integrity, the leader, businesswoman, model, wife, and great mother is rising within me. I thank God for BANG. BANG is surely changing lives, becoming a new generation with morals, values, and character.
Thank you very, very much for that. So you can see the impact of BANG. Then this one is the young man who you saw in the group of KIU students. This is Stephen Tresije, who has completed his studies in KIU and now went to his village in Itomero, that is in Kivale district. And my wife and I were there just a couple of days ago. Stephen went there and he found or saw the desperate situation in his community. He told me that in a big parish or big location there where he lives, there are only 3 of them who have made it to university. Most of the young people end up in S1 or P7, and soon by the time people are 13, 14, they're pregnant, and so on. So nobody goes. So there's poverty, there's violence in the community, in families, and so on. So he decided out of his own initiative to start to do something. So he invited us to go and launch this program there in Itome, in Kivale district, just a couple of days ago. So here he is addressing the youth who we went to be with them. So there we are. we spoke to those precious youth, and we launched that program there. Most of these are P7 leavers, some are S1, S2, a few S3. There was only one S6, I think, candidate, or rather vacant. But this is um, an initiative of somebody who has known the message of Bang. Instead of waiting for government, instead of waiting for who, he went as his own initiative to do something. And incidentally, I don't know, Madam Anita, whether you remember when Stephen got introduced to the bank message, things changed in his social media, and he began now posting there things that are meaningful, things that are of value, things that are sensible. And I remember him in one of the meetings at KIU, warning his colleagues that, colleagues, the things you post in social media, they eventually follow you. And if you're posting wrong things there, it eventually will come back to you. But if you post the right things there, so he was saying that I post the right things there, and I was called by someone and said, I've seen what you're doing on social media. So he said, I've now got an opportunity to engage in something. Somebody just noticed what this young man is posting. Said, there is some sense here. And he was given an opportunity while he was still a student. And now he told us that having finished university, he was appointed by UNICEF, not appointed, but chosen by UNICEF as the leading entrepreneur, a young person in Uganda. And he said he was even taken out of the country recently to, as an innovator, entrepreneur of youth. And that as a result, he has even got a scholarship to study law. That now he finished the first degree, I forget what it is, what was on, but now he has another sponsorship to do law. You see, just by seeing a young person who is putting into practice the bank principles. And then he told us, and I had this just a couple of days ago as he was introducing himself. He said that there's a program or a project that they're doing here in Kampala with a group of them as young people, 4 of them. They're doing a project where they want to begin marketing biogas, for cooking, so that people don't spoil the environment by cooking with the firewood, but they can cook with biogas. And he said that's a project that they're doing to help preserve the environment. So as a young person, I mean, all this was because of understanding the things in the values, morals, and character taught by Bang. Now, he brought to us these 2 young ladies. And after we finished talking with the students, he brought these 2 young ladies to us just to give them a word of encouragement. You imagine, these young people they are teenagers. You can see, all right? That young lady on the right, next to my wife, that kid that she's carrying is 1 month old, and the man who was living with her abandoned her, and this is the 2nd child. So now you picture that in the village. But now, a bank person, somebody who is in bank and has understood the values and the principle of bank, has decided to take. So he's actually going to organize parenting seminars and parenting training and so on. And those are areas we are going to be able to support and help, because we know how to teach parenting. And so we are going to But you see, it has taken a young person, a youth, to have the initiative to do this kind of thing. So that's why this is something that is very, very important. Okay, that was us just before we parted uh, from that village. So this is what I wanted to share, and I hope that it gives you an idea of what Bang is all about. Bang is actually, and by the way, this is just one testimony. There are many, many testimonies of what great young people are doing out there. So in a nutshell, that's who we are, and that's what we do as Family Life Network. And so over to you, Anita.
All right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, let's just give Papa a hand clap. A hand clap. Thank you so much for taking us through what Bang is about. And just before I hand the microphone back to Brian and a call, I just want to mention that we will share the timetable of the sessions we're going to be having on the WhatsApp group. And because of time, we won't be able to share, to go through the entire program this morning, but we will share the timetable so that you see some of the topics that are going to be handled. Thank you so much, Papa. Great testimonies there. And what we're going to be doing this year is to be releasing a newsletter, but mostly it will be about some of those bank testimonies, what bank is doing all over the country. And I can assure you that it is even going beyond borders. In the last cohort, we were amazed about, with one of our sisters, a South Sudanese, who was telling us her plans of what she's planning to do in South Sudan. And so feel free to take Bank to your community. We are there to walk the journey with you. And I think there's no community that Bank cannot reach. But who is going to take it there? You are going to take it there. And so, Brian, over to you. Thank you so much, Papa, for the session, for the presentation. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I just can't wait to see the leaders that are on this call ready to be replicated to go back to their communities and become change agents to meet all these needs. And right now, I know there are very many burning needs that are stirring up in their hearts, ready to be change agents in their community. Thank you so much. And even right about now, I know we are just about to come to close of our sessions, but we still proceeding, and we have our own facilitators that are on the call, and surely we would like to still hear from them. And what right about now, we just want to hear from Madam Sarah Biamukama, one of our facilitators that we are going to feel and hear from her in the course of this session. And right about now, I would like to invite her to have a word to the leaders on the call right now. Madam Sarah Biamukama, you are welcome.
Thank you. I will ask if I'm audible. These days, you don't take things for granted. I am audible, great.
You are audible, we can hear you.
I'm in a fair network region. I'll put on my video very briefly, then I'll switch it on for stability. I will switch it off for stability of the network. The light is behind me. Let me do this. Let me do this. I hope I'm visible.
Yes, we see you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm glad I've been on the call this morning. And I want to appreciate everybody who is behind the scenes putting this together. I specifically want to appreciate Madam Anita for doing the coordination. Coordination is not one of my strengths. So that all were able to do coordination very well. I literally marvel at them. And then, of course, we appreciate Mr. Langa, the vision bearer. When Mr. Langa mentioned that he's 70, I just told myself, okay, what shall we be? What shall we look like? What energy shall we have when we are 70? I'm 51 now. Ah, tough one. But Mr. Langa, thank you so much for inspiring us. I think there are many things Mr. Langa contributes in our lives that he doesn't know. Just seeing how much energy he has, how much passion he has. People of 70 years are retired and they are home and they've given up on life. But for Mr. Langa, it's like it's just the morning of his life. So we want to appreciate you for encouraging us not to give up and to help us believe that, yeah, we are in this for a much longer time than we thought we would. So to the young people on the call, you have to put Mr. Langa in the corner and ask him, what does he eat? How does he live his life? How can somebody keep their vitality long after the Ugandan retirement age? So, Mr. Langa, thank you for inspiring us. I'm not going to get tired. And I'm glad I chose to go back to the university to do another bachelor's at my age. I am finishing second year, and in 1 year, I should be done with this. Yeah. So I'll put off my video a bit because when many videos are on, it destabilizes other people's networks. I hope you allow me, I can do this now. So I'll continue with my brief message. I'll reintroduce myself again. I'm Sarah Mirembe Byamukama. I've been married to Engineer Byamukama for the last 21 years. That tells you that I got married at 30. And we have had 4 children, by the grace of God, 3 girls and a boy. The eldest is 18, and the youngest is 12 now. The young people who are on call and have not yet had a child and are not married, please put it in your heads to, going forward, to introduce yourself, to determine that you will introduce yourself, and the years you have been in marriage should be more than the age of your eldest child. What does it mean? When you work on your sexuality and say this will wait till marriage, you prevent consequences like getting pregnant before marriage, having abortions, and also having children out of wedlock. When I say I have been married 21 years and my eldest child is 18 years, it means I didn't have any child before I got married. But these are values we acquired from Mr. Langa. Then it wasn't bang. But Mr. Langa has spoken to young people for very many years in this country. And some of us were privileged to have met him as early as our university days. Imagine I went to Makerere University in 1993. And you know, you meet Mr. Langa as a young girl, you don't know what God is going to use your life for. You don't know where you're going to go. You don't even know who you're going to get married to. But you purpose and choose that I will live my life according to the principles being taught. You know, when we tell young people to sign the true love waits card, we are saying you are more than what your environment is offering you for now. We are signing you up to a life of commitment, a life of service, and a life of excellence. I look back and I literally marvel at my life from when I went to university at 19 years. Of course, I went to the university whereby Makerere used to admit only 2,000 students. So you had to make it. We only had government-sponsored students. There was nobody doing private. And when private came in when I was about to finish university, it looked like, who comes to university on private? Like, what are they coming to do? Like, it was that strange. But you know, something needed to guard me from that time to now. We're talking about 1993 to today. We're talking about 30-something years. So what the principles you're going to acquire during this training, we are talking about your life for the next 50 years. Today, I am a little more confident that actually God can give me 50 years. Like I can live to 70. I mean, Mr. Langa is an example. He just lives his life according to the principles up to today. And by the way, all of you students and trainees on this program, I'd like to mention this. In the secular world, it's not very common to work closely with men and the relationship remains clean for decades. Like most of the men you will come across, even in the first year of knowing you, they'll probably vibe you. Even when they know you're married, even when you're pregnant, even when you've just had a baby, they can literally, they know you wear a ring, somebody's ring, they've known you got married, they'll still vibe you. But to be able to work in the circles of Mr. Langa, all the people I have worked with when we are doing work with Mr. Langa, including Mr. Langa himself, these men are straight men. You don't even worry that he will probably put you in a corner or try to vibe you. It doesn't exist. My husband knows I work. Mr. Langa will usually send me to different places or I'll be doing things with him. We'll be talking somewhere. My husband does not double check. He doesn't worry. Like there's no trace in his head that anything can go wrong. Now, this talks about you minding about having clean relationships, like crispy clean. And I also know that Mr. Langa would say the same about me, that he's never seen any stupidity in me, really. And I'm not going to try and become that. And I know he's also not going to try and become that. Another person I can vouch for, Mr. Chazi, who will be speaking, I think, shortly after me. These are men. You don't even worry when you're working with them. Like what they say, what you see is what you get. What they say is what they live out. I just thought I would mention that because if we are going to support young people, we want you to see it in the long term. We want you to see it in the unforeseeable future. Next Sunday, which will be the 19th at All Saints Cathedral, we'll be celebrating 40 years of a music band I have been in for the last 27 years. This music band is called AYF, Anglican Youth Fellowship. Another group where I have related and interacted with men very closely. Recently, we just returned from a trip in the US, a month's trip in the US. And the moment we returned, another group left for the UK for another almost 1.5 months, and they are back. These people, you not being in one place, sometimes we sleep in the same homes. The men in AYF have never vibed us. 27 years. I went into AYF as a young girl, as a young university student, and I've been there all these years. I can put my hand and say, these men are men of integrity. So you, the young men who are on this call, when Mr. Langa says that he was surprised when students were saying, we are glad no girl has been raped. Why? Because the male mind, which is warped and which is not based on values, principles, and character, objectifies women so they can take away a woman's power and rape her, regardless of the environment. So for them, they were impressed that they could be at that training and no girl was raped. So we are telling you young men that do something about your life, get your life in order. And it doesn't matter what you did from yesterday backwards. Let today and forward matter. Purpose that you will live with people in society and they don't have to worry about you. It is possible, and it is possible for years. It is possible for decades. And the advantage, when that happens, then among you, you'll have more sober, sensible women. I'm married to Engineer Byamukama, a man who is handling huge budgets at the new Cancer Institute in Mulago being constructed. I was going to get married to a man of integrity. I was going to get married to a man who was going to wait for me to marry me, to even touch me. That when he told me when he was dating me, I love you so much and I respect you, and I will not touch you until I marry you. And he kept the promise. You know, the girls around you, begin to look at them and think better things for them. Tell yourself, these women are going to marry to great men. The men they will marry are going to be great men, and they're going to be our friends. They are going to be the people with whom we are going to change this country. They are going to be the men we are going to build this nation. So then you stop objectifying the girls. I have 3 girls. Let me tell you, I gave up my career for 10 years. 10 sat home to take care of these babies because I saw greatness in them. And every day I speak to them and tell them, my people, I see nothing less than greatness in you. And I don't think God would give you to me if there are no great men out there that he is raising for you to be their wives. So I keep telling them, everybody who vibes you for now is not part of that deal. They are not part of your plan. They're not part of your future. Look at things in a bigger perspective, you know? And it keeps them calm. It keeps them calm. They'll come and tell you when somebody's vibing them. And then you ask them, so what's your analysis of that partner? Like, mommy, these are people who come to sidetrack us, but these are young kids. I'm talking about a girl of 18, a girl of 16, and a girl of 13. The girl of 13 has come to meet me in Makere. I study at Institute of Psychology. And while she was outside waiting for me seated on a veranda, some random guy just comes and begins vibing her. And this child almost cried. And she said to him, I go to a school. Which school? I go to Friends International. Where is it? Until the girl told him, I'm 13 years. I think that time she hadn't turned 13. I think she was 12. She was doing her confirmation classes. I'm 12 years. And this guy looked at the child in shock, like, oh my God, this is defilement. Like, how can I even think of even vibing such a child? Because many campuses in body are usually small, so probably she passed for a campus. But I could imagine the shock on the guy's face. But you've just seen a little girl. So what? I mean, who is she? Do you even care? You know, 13, if this girl is going to get married at probably 26, she has about 13 years to go. So young men, let me go back to what I had prepared to speak. I'm sorry I went there, but I was provoked by what Mr. Langa said. And I said, guys, as you come on the forum, as you come into this mentorship, please think about yourself as the people going to hold the money for this country. If we were to steal just this project at Cancer Institute, you guys, we were going to walk off with billions and billions of money. I keep telling my friends who come to our simple bungalow, and I tell them, hey, me, I wouldn't be greeting you. Of course, they laugh, and they're like, yeah, we know. And I'm like, I'm glad that money is not in this house. You can't even see it here. But when I go to Mulago Hospital and I go to Cancer Institute and I see what's happening and I see the patients being worked on, and yet I nursed my mother 16 years ago in the same hospital with no basic facilities, I give glory to God. That 16 years later, my own husband is able to make a difference there. Each of you is going to make a difference. Some of you are going to make a difference in finance. Some of you are going to make a difference in church. Some of you are going to make a difference in agriculture. Some of you are going to make a difference in health. Those are the people we are here to mentor in this season. So when I was preparing something brief to say, I said, I want you to look at this mentorship as a season of growth. Growth is continuous. Pick up the principles that are going to be taught, be consistent, and make it a continuous process. You people, you can stand on Mr. Langa's shoulders to see the world. Get everything he's been able to do and everything he stands for and take it just to another level. We are waiting to see those people who are willing to put on those big shoes. John Maxwell tells a story. John Maxwell is a leadership coach. You can Google him up and you can actually begin to learn a lot from him. John Maxwell tells a story of a young man who came to him at a conference of 2,000 people. It was a weekend conference. That conference was being attended by 2,000 people. And each of those people had paid $2,000. Can you do the maths? How much money did John Maxwell's company earn on that weekend? Just do the math. And we're talking about $4 million. Can I hear an answer? Hello. 2,000 people each paying $2,000. Isn't that 4 million? Nobody is mathematic on this on a call. I'm double checking my answer.
Yes, it
Hello?
is. I think people are pulling out calculators. Yes, it is.
It's 4 million. Thank you, Anita. So John Maxwell's answer to this young man was, do you want to do what I did in order to do what I do now? Like, what do you really want? Do you want to host a conference of 2,000 people and each has paid $2,000? Or do you want to do what I did as John Maxwell, as a young John Maxwell growing up? To attend to listen to all the mentors he did, to listen to all the mentors he did, to read all the books he read, to allow those principles to take root in his life. And this young man said, well, I just want to lead a department. I want to have impact in my company. He was young, he was a young graduate. And he told him, do you want to lead yourself first before you can lead others? Who would like to follow you if you can't even follow yourself? Like, is there anything in your life that is sound enough that you can, at least in this small area, I am able to lead myself? There is a difference I can bring. Anita mentioned earlier that I'm losing my thought pattern. Anita mentioned earlier that we are over 100 on the WhatsApp group, and I think attendance is just below 60. And she was saying, you people, how do the rest of you who have missed a session, how do you expect us to help you? If the mentorship program is running for 6 weeks, please attend. 5 a.m. is not good for me, I want to assure you. I'm not a morning person at all. I would be glad if my day begins at 10 a.m. every day. That's me. I can stay up till 3 a.m. comfortably, understanding, I can even do housework between midnight and 3 a.m. and finish it and even cook for the following day. That's me. If you're a night owl, like they call us, my kids call me a night owl. If you're a night owl, you're very poor in the morning. You just can't get out of bed. But I'm going to commit that for the next weeks, I'll be able to be up at 5 a.m. And guess what? On some of those days, after that, I'll be driving out to go for lectures in Makerere. So you sort of purpose, you tell yourself, I am going to be intentional and I'm going to do this. And that is Maxwell's first law of the 15 invaluable laws of Maxwell. Intentionality. Like, you determine in your head and say, I'm going to do this thing. And let me tell you, there are guys who are going to give this full commitment. When we end this mentorship, you'll be shocked at the great ideas God will have put in their heads to run with. We are here because God gave this to Mr. Langa. But God is willing to give many more things to many of us. Question is, are you willing to be intentional? Can you at least work on yourself so that you can lead yourself, so that others will come following you? So this mentorship presents an opportunity for you to work on you before you can lead others. And I want to end with Terry Sivelli. Terry Sivelli, I would like to introduce you to Terry Sivelli. Right now, she's released, I think the beginning of this year, most of her messages are on favor. How do you attract God's favor? And one of the things she says is God's favor is when people are getting maybe a car at $4,000, God's favor can enable you get that same car at $1,000. Like there can be a discount, a strange discount. When people are buying tickets and tickets have run out, you can actually get a seat on first class at the last minute because of God's favor. And many things, but something she taught earlier, and a principle for which she has worked with since, I think, 2011, is she gives a summary of 5 things successful people do before 8 a.m. Of course, now this shows you how I'm able to push myself and say, Sarah, some things you have to do them, whether you're a night owl, you have to remember my kids have to be at school by 6:30 a.m. We live in Intin and they study in Chanja, and the morning jam can really be bad. So we have to be out of the house at 6. I can assure you, I go to the bathroom with my eyes half closed. I begin to see when I begin to look for my keys. That is when I'm dressed. That means I dress up when I'm half asleep. Then I pick my keys, and when I'm sitting on the wheels, the kids are like, Mommy, are you fully awake? It's terrible, but it happens. I tell them, yeah, I'm awake. There's no way I would start this engine. I drive a manual car. So there's no way I would drive a manual car when I'm sleeping. But it's not my strength. But I have to do it. So 5 things successful people do before 8 a.m. I'm just adding this to you so that you realize that the things we are going to be talking about in this mentorship, if these 5 things will even help you implement this better. Number 1, listen to a faith-based message daily. Like purpose, whether the faith-based message is 10 minutes or 15 or 20 or 30, listen to a faith-based message every day. Fortunately, we have phones. These messages are available all over. You can choose who you want to listen to, but it has to be a faith-based message. Faith-based messages are written according to the Word of God. And the Word of God, if you're a Christian, for us, it's the Bible. I want to believe that if you're a person of another faith, like a Muslim, the Word of God, according to you, will be the Quran. So listen to what God is telling you every day. Number 2, pray and meditate. Praying and meditate. Praying is you open your mouth and talking to God. You don't have to talk to God like you are the greatest person in words. You don't have to be a pastor. Talking to God is use your simple language. It's like a simple casual relationship. And then if you're talking to God for 5 minutes, then stop, pause, and spend another 5 minutes listening to God. That's meditating. Meditating, you're telling him, what are you saying, Lord? What do you want me to learn? What's likely to happen today? How do you want me to behave? How do you want me to think? Who am I going to meet? What should be give me a word, a life-giving word to share with people today. So you pray and meditate, and usually when you go to pray and meditate, make sure you have a journal, a book, a simple book. It just has to be a simple book, even if it's an exercise book. So even if it just says, be kind today, write it down. At that time, if you've prayed, you're not listening to the devil, you're listening to God. So write down something. He will say something. 3, read daily. Find something to read daily. And she told us that when she was doing this, when she was beginning this, when she left university, Terry Seveli had promised her family on graduation that I am not going to read, and she didn't read for 10 years. I'm not going to read anything. So when she began this new program of personal change and growth and really development, she actually began to read. She said she would put a timer for 20 minutes and she would read and then keep checking on the timer. It hasn't yet gotten off. And then she reads, checks the timer like 4 or 5 times. Then by the time she had read for 21 days, because that's what she wanted to do, she had now begun enjoying reading and she was learning a lot. And she decided that now let me read for some 2 more months. And she has been reading something every day for the last 11 years. So you can't, she's a force to reckon with. She's not a simple woman. She is not. Even if you read for only 30 minutes, it's too much to read. So when she speaks from a knowledge base. Then that's number 3. Number 4 is write down your goals for the day and speaking to them like prophesy, like I will be able to be paid my worth. I'm going to do this work and I'm going to do it excellently, like something positive. I will be able to complete my assignments today. I will not procrastinate, like speak positively into your life. That's number 4. Write your goals down for the day. And then number 5, exercise daily. Let me talk about exercise. Exercise is not going to the gym to weight lift for 4 hours or an hour. Exercise, even if it's 10 minutes of walking every day, and you're working 7 days of the week, that is 70 minutes, 1 hour and 10 minutes. That means in a month, those are 4 hours and 40 minutes. Let me tell you, 4 hours and 40 minutes of exercise on your body cannot be compared to nothing. I was the worst at exercise, but now I know that I can get out of my house, walk one direction of the road, return and go and complete the road and return. And by the time I'm coming back home and climbing my hill, I know that one has gone down on my body. My heart has rest. My skin has released sweat. I have flexed every joint. Simple walking. My daughter, who is 18, has been struggling with her weight. I bought her a smartwatch and she uses it. She does 10,000 steps religiously every day. And her entire body has gone down straight. Her skin, she has been having skin issues. Her skin has just wiped itself clear. And what disgusting is, and she told me, man, this thing really works. And she stopped eating after 6. She doesn't eat anything after 6 p.m. And she's 18. She doesn't have to. There is this eating, constant eating of young people. Constant, you're even tempted. That's why people will come and take you to one day for chips and chicken and eventually take you to bed because you wanted to eat even in the night. The people taking you out to eat are people who have come from office. They're just looking for people to chill and pass time with. So they can't buy you that chips and chicken. 20K is not much money for a person who is working. And then, of course, at the end, he's expecting, I'll use her body after I bought her chips and chicken. And girls actually do accept. And I'm like, even if you just have a simple principle, I don't eat after 6 p.m., you'll escape most of those men. You'll survive them. I'm sorry. So I want to end here by saying, young people, even if you can get what is going to be taught in these 5 sessions and just add on, do some exercise, write down your goals, read something daily, pray and meditate, listen to a faith-based message. When Mrs. Malinga was talking, she said, character can't be developed out of a relationship with God. She's right. And for me, I know that it's not only Christians who can have character. My classmates, my closest friends are 2, and they are Muslims, a girl and a boy. You can hear I'm calling them a girl and a boy because they are much younger than me. I mean, for me, I went to university many years ago. I just chose them to return because I wanted something. I wanted to learn something. So these 2 young people, these 2 Muslim kids, of course, I'm sure when they came, probably they were even skeptical. This woman is a Christian and a very staunch one. But they've discovered I'm probably not what has been told to them Christians are. But even me, I can choose to treat them like I have had people claim Muslims are this, but I can also choose to treat them as human beings. My choice always is, but they are human beings. In the first place, they are human beings. If you choose faith to divide you, you forget that even them, I'm pursuing my God, they are pursuing their God in the way they understand. One of those girls is very committed. We studied psychology. She doesn't miss a single time of prayer because we are walking distance from the mosque. She even has an accountability partner who checks on her. Did you go on time for your swala? And for me, I told her that is discipline. I told her, you don't know what this is doing to you. You're growing into a fine young religious woman. You know you have to pray, but also you take that same discipline in the other things you do. So if you're on this call, the faith you belong to does not matter. Just make sure you are doing what is right according to what you do. In family life, I've seen Muslim women come and get training, and they are excellent and they're doing an amazing job wherever they are. So faith will not divide us here. Just be consistent and grow even in your faith, and the rest will just follow in place. For the Christians, you know, the standard is high. If you have been a Catholic and you have not been mining, wake up. If you've been an Anglican and you've not been mining, but wake up. If just be serious, you know. And as I get off, there's an incoming call. Of course, if now morning calls are going to begin. Members, have a good day. I may have spoken too much, but Mrs. Malinga knows me. Mr. Malinga knows me. When I talk, I feel like I have to leave some seed in your mind for that day. So for me, I'll be up at 5 a.m. I already told Madam Anita I'm going to be committed 5 a.m. and I'm like, oh God, give me grace. I'm sorry, but I'll be there. Be sure I'll be there because we are raising no excuse leaders. Do have a good day.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Aunt Sarah. And you've even made work much easier for us on the administration end. And so if shall I say if Aunt Sarah can make it in the morning, so the excuse of sleep, I missed my alarm and things like that, all those have been washed away. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as I hand back to Brian, I just want to invite, just bear with us. Orientation can take a little bit of time, but our normal sessions will be ending at exactly 7. And so I'm just going to invite Mr. Philip Emunot to just share with us because he's one of our facilitators. Let's give him an opportunity. We shall not have a Q&A session. We shall request you to direct all the questions to the admins on the WhatsApp group, and you will get your answers before end of day today. Mr. Emunot, please.
Good morning. I'll just put on my video for a very short time. Praise God. My name is Philip Emnot. I will be very brief because I'm in between jumping into my car to run to office and speaking. But Sarah has spoken quite a bit and has laid a very good foundation for us. I'm married. I'll be making 16 years in marriage. I have 4 beautiful children. I am a banker. I'm a senior manager in one of the banks in town. You will get to know if you come to the sessions. I love issues around building young people. That's my passion, especially seeing that they end up in strong families with the right foundations. Only and only then can we transform society and transform our nation. I am John Maxwell certified. I speak, I train, I coach, I support leaders. I am so passionate about every single young Ugandan becoming God's version of themselves. That is my absolute passion. And I'm just going to leave a few reflections for us today. So let's just paint a picture of a gardener on one side and a gardener on the other side. And each of them has prepared their field so well, so beautiful. The soil is well moist, good brown. The weather is pretty good. And it's time to plant. And each of these brings out a seed to plant. And gardener one has followed the specifications of how the seed should have been treated, should have been stored before planting. And gardener two decided to do their own things, leave the seed to whom it may concern, and then go and plant the seeds. Conditions in which they are planting are all the same. Because of time, I won't ask for the answer, but we all know that when it comes to the yield, the seed that was looked after correctly is the seed that is going to yield the most. Not because the conditions had a problem, because the seed had a problem. Twist it the other way around. If the conditions were not that good, and then on one side you had a bad seed, and on the other side you had a good seed, which of these two seeds is more likely to thrive through the tough conditions? It is obviously the good seed. What we share during these sessions is to make sure that each one of us becomes the good seed. If we find ourselves in conditions that are adverse, we will thrive through. If we found ourselves in conditions that are perfect, we will even blossom the more. At the end of the day, we will produce fruit that is of value. Auntie Sarah responded to referred to the 15 laws of growth by John Maxwell. And in that particular book, there's a part that says, the world will never buy you at a price higher than you place on yourself. If you price yourself as a thief, the world will buy you at the price of a thief. If you price yourself as a man of integrity, the world will buy you at the price of a man of integrity. People of values, morals, and character are the most pricey commodity the world is looking for today. You can just look around you and you will know it. Be it in parenting, be it at the workplace, be it in the church, people with values, morals, and character based on biblical truth are a very scarce and pricey valued commodity today. And that is what we aim to develop during this season. So my call, just like Auntie Sarah said, is can we be committed? Let's be so committed to the end. But after we have gone through this and got our transformation, the goal is that you will carry that seed and plant it in many other people every day of your life until together we make Uganda a great nation. Thank you very much and looking forward to the sessions with you. God bless you.
Wow, thank you so much. Friends, let's give a round of applause to our facilitators who will be meeting in the course of this entire mentorship program. Let's appreciate them. Thank you so much. We've heard from you such wonderful insights this early morning. And friends, we come to the end of this wonderful session for today. But even before we dive off this call, please, I would love to welcome back Elder Stephen Langa to give a parting shots, the shots that we shall go with for today. And Elder Stephen Langa, please, you are welcome. Come and give us parting shots for today.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm glad that you wonderful have been here. Sorry that you've taken a bit longer, but thank you nevertheless for being here. I just look forward to really connecting with you, wonderful people, to see that we can work together to bring out the potential that you have. And what all I know is that whoever sticks with it will never, never regret. This is the training of a lifetime. Okay, that's how you should look at it. It's a training of a lifetime. The kind of things we will hear here are not things you can easily get in many places. So utilize it while it lasts. Thank you, and over to you, Brian.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, participants. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I would really, really love to appreciate facilitators, Elder Stephen Langa, Madam Anita, married men and women sacrificing their time to mentor a wonderful generation that will impact their families and community and their future. Thank you so much for having this heart for this nation, Uganda. And right about now, thank you so much. And friends, yes, we shall not have the Q&A, but for more details on registration and any other question, please go to that link that is in the chat box and then join the WhatsApp official page for the Bang Mentorship Program 2025. That's the official page and that's the link. Please go there, ask all the questions right in there. Take note, next meeting, you'll find all the communications in that group. And thank you so much for being patient. Thank you so much for being available and plugging in for this morning orientation. God richly bless you. Why don't we have a closing prayer? Very quickly here. Oh Lord Jesus, we want to thank you for this day. Thank you, Father, that we have had a wonderful orientation and opening our eyes into this great mission that we are yet to dive in. Thank you, Lord, for this program that we are yet to study more about it. And we pray, Lord, for every program, every session that we are going to be having. May it be impactful and life-changing, transforming us from inward to outside. Lord, we pray that different people around us, the communities and families and the places that we are in the different institutions, we pray that they will be able to see the light that we are receiving. We thank you and we bless you. All this we have prayed in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you, friends, and have a great weekend. Bye. You can open your microphones and just say bye, bye.
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 Thank you.
So,